Welcome everybody, it's Joe from Joe's Golden Garage. Coming to you today from my 90-year-old grandmother's house. I've got the two Audis. Maybe two people commented they would like to see a comparison, so I'll just do a real basic little comparison here of the two cars. This one being the 2003 Audi A6 Quattro. Beautiful car in excellent shape. It's been in my family for a long time. I've had this car featured on my channel a few times. It's just really in great condition for its age. It's got 139,000 miles. And is just a mint piece. This was of course owned by my uncle. He bought it certified pre-owned when it was about 2 years old, and then gave it to my grandparents in 2013, I believe, when it had about 130,000 miles on it. It now has, I believe, let's see what we have. $139,855. So 7, 8 years, not even 10,000 miles put on it. But she is lovely. The wood and all the buttons. There's a little bit of wear right here on these air conditioning buttons, but the wood, and the dashboard, and all the trim still looks, just looks freaking new in this car. But it stays right there in that garage. And since COVID hit, it has been driven very little. We've put a new battery in it, and we're even having to jump it off now. I need to take it and see if I can get it swapped out under warranty. Got nice Bridgestone. What are these? Ecopias? Put on a couple of years ago. They only have a couple of thousand miles. It's got the HID headlights. So what we have here is we've got the 3-liter V6 in the 03 Audi, and this one puts out 220 horse and 221 torque, pound-feet of torque. Very smooth engine. It's been dead reliable. Very few repairs. I just put a new coolant reservoir in it, and I liked it so much I ordered one for my Audi, and I'm going to put one in. It's in the back seat, but I'm going to put it in there this weekend because mine is starting to crack. They're prone to crack down here in the bottom, and mine is started to crack and drip a little bit too as well, so I've got to swap that out. Battery hides up here. That little cover is not very good, but great running motor. Timing belt was done on this several years ago, I think at around 100,000. Age will definitely catch up with it before the miles will, but it's still just a great running car. The only thing, this car has some oh, and I just put a new hood strut on. Boy, that's a strong mother too, and it was like 20 bucks. But this car has a little bit of a Christmas tree going on the dash. We have some warning lights. One of them simply for the coolant tank. The coolant tank has a crack in it, and you fill it up and it just pours right out the bottom. So it needs to be replaced. So windshield washer fluid light stays on, and the oil temperature gauge does not work. So the oil temp sensor light is beeping at you. Both minor things, but annoying, and they stay on the dashboard constantly. The one probably most serious is the check engine light. But there again, the check engine light has been on this car for years, probably close to 10 years. And that was about, no, it wouldn't be quite that long, because it was about the time my uncle gave it to my grandparents, because we are a non-emissions area up here in beautiful North Georgia. Kind of a shame, but it's kind of nice too. Don't have to worry about stuff like that. But anyway, no politics. So no emissions here. So that was part of the reason he gave it to them. He said, the car runs fine, runs great. You can drive it, but I've got a check engine code that the dealership is saying it needs new catalytic converters. Well, you know, that was back in 2013. So the car's still driving. It runs fine, runs perfect. You just have to stare at the check engine light. And, you know, getting the catalytic converters replaced on this car is not a cheap affair from the quotes we have received. There's the oil temp gauge, and it'll just never move. Cold AC. But this engine is so smooth. This car gets about pretty good. Very quiet. No leaks, does not leak any oil. Just a great running old car. Got a K&N air filter in there. It is, it's just a great running car. All right, so the 06 Audi. Very similar engine. Just a little bump up in displacement and a little more power, 255 on the horse power and 243 on the torque. This thing holds a lot of oil. It says 7 quarts, but I think it's actually more than that. You can see with my coolant bottle here, it's old, it's the original, and you can see down there where it's leaking a little bit. So I've got to get a new coolant bottle. I've got the coolant bottle, I've got to get it installed. So this car, I'm about to turn over 188,000 miles. Also a very smooth running car with plenty of power. The only thing I do not like, I would rather have that engine with the less power in this car than have this engine. And only because the timing chain is in the rear. It's back here. And to do a timing chain replacement, if you have to do one, now, you know, a timing chain is supposed to last the life of the car, depending on maintenance, of course. Now, this car has been maintained very, very well over the years with pretty much an open checkbook. And the timing chain seems fine. So you can see the cover right there. So, you know, it's against the firewall. So Audi charges $6,000 to pull the engine because it is an engine out service, $6 grand. Where this is just a timing belt mounted here on the front. You know, chain versus belt. Of course, I kind of prefer the chain, but I hate the freaking location. What a terrible location. I have found an Audi independent that has quoted me $2,500 to do the timing chain on this car. He knows how to do it with the engine in. And there's a couple of YouTube videos. There's a couple of guys out there that filmed changing the chain with the engine in. It can be done, but it's a little bit of a back-breaking job for sure. Because, I mean, you know, you're leaned over and just, I mean, it's just back-breaking. And it's tight, very tight quarters. But it can be done. My car has almost 188. The chain's good. I'll start hearing some noise when it starts to get loose or start going bad. I'll start to get a rattle, but I don't hear that. And it's probably because the oil has always been changed on this thing in a very timely fashion. Go ahead and start her up. Again, cold AC. This has the nav, which if you've watched any of my other videos, you know the features on the inside. But clean interior. This one has held up well as well. The window switches are the downfall on these. They peel. But you can buy these very inexpensively on eBay and they just pop out. As you can see, the power lock button is bubbling and the paint's coming off. But like the headlight switch is perfect. And the climate control buttons are perfect. The headlight switch on my grandmother's Audi is so weird, man. It's just trashed. Look at that. But her window switches look good. But this around it is a little bit peeling. So, you know, it's kind of weird. I'm riding on Hankook Ventus. They're fairly new. Replaced a couple thousand miles ago. Now, one thing I don't know, comment below, is this engine direct injected? Because I almost hear like, you hear almost like that little knock that direct injected engines make. Still super smooth and super quiet, but just a little more noise, I think. Need to turn the AC off so the fans will go off. Having the fans on is a little bit of an unfair advantage there. Hit the Econ. Maybe that'll kick it off. You have more of just a little valve ticking, tick, 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 tick. And this has a little more of a kind of knock. I need to check that out. I don't know. Comment if you know. Is this direct injected? It might be. Incident with the trailer hitch. That could have been disastrous. But luckily it didn't make it to the radiator or fans. But yeah, just a little comparison of the two powertrains on these cars. Both are, you know, they're pretty similar, but definitely different in some ways. You know, this one's faster, you know, got more get up and go, a little better gas mileage. But that timing chain being on the back, that is just, the maintenance is more expensive than on the 03 Audi. This baby runs quiet. I mean, you can't hear any exhaust. I've got a chewed up wheel that I'm gonna swap out with the spare because the spare has never been used. And I'm gonna make this wheel and tire my spare. My other wheels are in pretty good shape. Got one little scratch there, but other than that, they are free of road rash. Thank goodness. And I ordered new center caps, which I've covered in a previous video. I need to get my grandma some. Hers, or see how they're starting to peel away and fade. Two classy cars though, man. Classy, classy. I love this tail end on this car. I always thought that was a good looking rump. And then of course, that wagon's just so sleek. I get more compliments on this car. I mean, it's crazy. But anyway, there you have it. Little comparison. 03 Audi A6 versus an 06 A6. And appreciate you watching. Y'all have a great weekend. And we'll see you next time. Oh, and relax. It's Masters Week. Goodbye.